Thank you all for being here today as Michael and Taylor enter into a lifelong union. Today we celebrate the separate journeys that brought them together, and we usher them towards the new journey they will embark on as partners. When Michael and Taylor asked me to be a part of their special day, I couldn't have said yes any quicker. Without question, these are two of the most beautiful souls that I've ever been fortunate enough to come into contact with. After saying yes, it was a few short hours later that the panic set in. How will I ever find the right words that will truly bring justice to the most caring, compassionate people that I know? Rather than speak on the past, I want to focus on the present and the future. What does a successful marriage entail? What does it require? A true lasting marriage requires effort, commitment, and unending respect. As Michael and Taylor declare their love, on this day, we reflect on the meaning of partnership and its importance to a successful union. Partners in life think of one another as teammates, equally capable, but each arriving with their own special skills. A marriage thrives when partners choose to value the other for everything they are and for everything that they are not. There is truly no limit to what a partnership can accomplish when trust and admiration flow abundantly. Today, Michael and Taylor acknowledge this with excitement as they prepare to join hands in marriage. I ask that everybody please rise once again. Do you all, as witnesses on this day, support and encourage this union? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. So as I guide you two in the exchanging of your vows, you, Michael, and you, Taylor, will declare your intentions for a lasting partnership in love and marriage. Are you prepared for this?
Yes.
Great. Without further ado, let's begin. Taylor, please repeat after me. I, Taylor.
I, Taylor.
Take you, Michael.
It was coming. Take you, Michael.
To be my husband. I promise from this day.
I promise till this day.
I will regard you not only as my equal partner.
I will regard you for not only my equal partner.
But as my closest friend.
But as my closest friend.
I promise to comfort you in sickness and health.
I promise to comfort you in sickness and health.
I promise to demonstrate my commitment to you.
I promise to demonstrate my commitment to you.
Through love, laughter, and compassion.
Through love, lots of laughter, and compassion.
Thank you, Taylor. Michael, please repeat after me. I, Michael.
I, Michael.
Take you, Taylor.
Take you, Taylor.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
I promise that from this day forward.
I promise that from this day forward.
I will regard you not only as my equal partner.
I will regard you not only as my equal partner.
But as my closest friend.
But as my absolute closest friend.
I promise to comfort you in sickness and in health.
I promise to comfort you in sickness and in health.
I promise to demonstrate my commitment to you.
I promise to demonstrate my commitment to you.
Through love, laughter, and compassion.
Through love, laughter, and compassion.
Thank you. Taylor. Do you take this man to be your husband, to live together in holy matrimony, to love... I wanted you at the beginning. To love him, to honor him, to comfort him, and to keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Michael, do you take this woman to be your wife, to live together in holy matrimony, to love her, to honor her, to comfort her, and to keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Will the ring bearer please come forward? These rings symbolize the strength of your commitment to this marriage and the love that you share. Michael, please repeat after me. I give you this ring as a daily reminder of my love for you.
I give you this ring as a daily reminder for my love for you.
Taylor, please repeat after me. I give you this ring as a daily reminder of my love for you.
I give you this ring as a daily reminder of my love for you.
By the power of your love and commitment and the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
So we're very, very happy here to celebrate Michael and Taylor. First half of my speech is a little bit more about Michael. So Michael was born in Long Island, New York. And about 5 years old, he moved to South Florida. We actually went with him, so he was. So it made perfect sense that a few years later, he announced he was going to become a Green Bay fan. A place he'd never been to. I am not sure if he even knew where it was on a map. But he did declare himself a Green Bay fan, and he's passionately supported that team ever since. Some of the values that Michael has, passion is certainly one of them. And he really has been devoted to this team, throughout. From a professional point of view, this passion is in sales, which is what his current job has always been. And not perhaps the best story, but my favorite story is when he was quite young. He was working in a movie theater selling popcorn and Coke in the concession stand. And he was always encouraged to supersize the meal to get customers to spend an extra 25 or 50 cents or whatever it was. And he would come home often and tell us how many people he got to upsell. He got no financial compensation for upselling people at all. But it was a game to him. And he's very competitive if you don't know. And so the story that always kind of resonated with me, one day, I don't know how many people he would serve a day, 20, 30, 40, whatever it was. He got every single person who he served to he upsold every single person, got them to supersize their meal. And it came to this last person, and it was going to be the last person of the night because it was the last showing in the movie theater. And this person wouldn't budge, and nor would Michael. And he continued with this person. And I'm really not sure what happened. I'm kind of fuzzy about the details, but I know the person left with a supersized popcorn and a supersized. Now, when it comes to applying for college, Michael found himself in this situation, which is, I think, very, very unfair. So he went to the largest high school, I think in the United States, but certainly in the state of Florida. And if the top 100 people applying for a school in the state of Florida all came from the same school, they would only limit the admissions to the first like 20 people, or whatever that number was, to allow other schools from around the country to participate. So he found himself in a situation where people with worse grades than him were being accepted to a school he wanted to get into because of this allocation system. So he ended up there and he couldn't get into the school he wanted to. Now, Michael's passionate, doesn't give in, and he's very competitive. And I don't know how, but somehow he convinced the school guidance counselor that if he went to Tallahassee Community College, which is right next door to FSU, and he completed the first semester and got the right grades, he could then transfer into FSU. And that's exactly what he did. He went up there, he worked his tail off, and he transferred, and he got his 4-year degree at FSU. Something I'm like so proud of him. At the end of his 4 years at FSU, he went to a job fair, and various jobs are being applied and all the rest of it. And he took a job that took him to Texas, to Austin, Texas. And that, unbeknownst to him or anybody else, is the most important decision that he ever took, because it brought him to meet Taylor, which never would have happened if it wasn't for that one particular job fair. So from the day that Laura and I met Taylor, she's always had that smile, that very recognizable laugh that she has. She's kind and generous to a fault. She's calm, passionate, loving, and supporting. She's always there to provide a great support to Michael, and I know she makes him a better person than he is. Taylor's also very competitive as Michael. From her background of playing softball and being a coach thereafter, and together they enjoy hiking all the 14ers, pickleball, dodgeball, etc., etc. And I know they used to play in a dodgeball league, a co-ed dodgeball league, and they couldn't get enough teams to compete. Now, I have seen some videos of Taylor playing dodgeballs and throwing the ball at the other people, and I'm absolutely convinced the reason that they can't find enough teams is everyone's scared of Taylor. Now, I'm also, I may have mentioned that Michael was very passionate and argumentative and determined and never stops at the first no. And I don't know how, but somehow he convinced the Texan, never been out of San Antonio in her life, that it would be a really good idea to move to Denver, Colorado. And so they are now here. While in Denver, Colorado, Laura and myself have always had dogs, Michael surprised me one day and said he's going to surprise Taylor with a puppy. So Bonnie shows up as a puppy bigger than our German Shepherd and then just completely continues to grow. And, the three of them, living here in the mountains, which is the absolute perfect place, and they go hiking together and all the rest of it. And obviously it was on one of those hikes that Michael dropped on one knee, and that's why we're all here today. As they say, the rest is history. So Laura and I are just thrilled to welcome Taylor to our family. I don't think either of them can find better partners in each other, and we just wish you a lifetime of happiness together. Cheers. Cheers.
First of all, thank you again for coming. I know a lot of y'all drove or flew or got here a lot of different ways, but it really does mean a lot to both of our families. It means a lot to these two especially, so let me get that out of the way. So when we met Michael for the first time, it was we had got invited to a kind of an impromptu birthday party. Mom and I got invited to this party. They were in town. we kind of met him, but we didn't really meet him. We just kind of saw him, and they were gone. They went hiking and exploring. They were all over San Antonio. I think y'all went to the Riverwalk or Alamo, something that day. And then we found out later on that day that we got invited to this birthday party. So it was Christine's birthday party, and she said, well, hey, why don't you invite Taylor and Michael? And I'm like, Taylor and who? Taylor and Michael. Oh, yeah, that guy, Taylor and Michael. So the first time we met Michael, really, per se, they were late getting to the party. I don't know why, but I do know why. And part of the reason they were late was because we sprung this on kind of both of them. And they had been out, they were out hiking all day and whatever, and probably had gross T-shirts with beer spilled on them or whatever. And all of a sudden, Michael's like, uh-oh, I got to meet Taylor's mom and dad. So they had to stop. I don't remember. I think you actually had to go buy some clothes, if I'm not mistaken. You went back to Austin or something, right? Yeah, anyway. So they were late because he was really worried about making that great first impression. And so they had to go change clothes, and he was probably the best dressed guy there, quite honestly. But anyway, all was good with that. Some of the things that have really stood out to us personally, your enthusiasm, your desire to succeed is probably, you and Taylor's together. That is something both of y'all will have and continue to have, and will make you stronger, just that alone. Not only the competitive side of it, but the desire to succeed. And then the drive to be better, and you both make each other better. And that's a goal of yours. It's not just a given. It's not something that either of you take lightly. You see it in your eyes. You see it every time y'all sing together. By the way, I don't know if y'all have ever heard them sing out loud. But I will tell you, if you ever get that chance, hide all of the glasses in the house because they might break. Because they love to sing loud. And I remember when I truly realized that you were a good egg. We were outside on the patio, on the back patio. We were watching, there was some game on TV. I don't remember what it was. It may have been a baseball game because it was in spring. And we had a little barbecue or something. And you had gotten a phone call. And I believe it was your dad. And you walked away, you kind of separated yourself, and you were having that conversation with your dad. And then towards the end of the conversation, you walked up closer, and I heard you say, I love you, Dad. And for me, that was like crazy because I'm like, dude, you're a guy. Guys don't tell their dad they love them. And I mean, they just don't, It really reminded me that you understand and exercise the importance of telling your family and your friends, especially your parents, that you love them. And at that point, right then, that's when I knew that you truly understood what it meant to love somebody. And then knowing that Taylor was the person that, one of the people that you love, just made us all feel very at ease and very like, wow, this is the good egg that we've all been hoping for and praying for and waiting to happen. So I appreciate that. Taylor. Your infectious smile that was mentioned earlier. What can I say about that? Your infectious smile is it radiates, it illuminates, and it just completely lights up a room. You can't help but want to smile with you. Your competitive nature, I don't think we need to keep talking about that because I think everybody here understands that. And I think that the whole dodgeball thing and you've seen more videos with Taylor throwing is because Michael's afraid. He's like, I can't throw anywhere like that. He's humbling himself a little bit with that, so I can appreciate that. When we talk about the competitive nature, I remember when Taylor was 2 years old. And so I've been in the restaurant business for a long time. And I was working one day, and Taylor and Mom come in the door, front door. I worked at a Chili's restaurant back then. So if you're familiar with a Chili's restaurant, you usually walk in the front door, and in the bar is one of the first things you see. Lots of tables in there. Well, this particular day, there was quite a few people in there having late lunch. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Taylor runs in. She runs in. She says, "Daddy, look." Raises her skirt up. "I got new panties." She goes, "I got big girl panties." I think they were actually Cinderella panties too, if I'm not mistaken. The competitive side of that, what that meant is Mom bribed her and said, "If you will go big girl potty and not have to wear pull-ups or whatever they call those things back then I'll get you a pair of big girl panties." So she got her first pair of big girl panties. You officially crossed into the potty training stage. Right? A little over 4 years ago, Taylor and Michael decided to relocate and make the journey to Denver, or to the Denver area. And when they told us about it, it was like, okay, cool. They're going to move to Denver and they're going to hang out and do their thing for a while. And I really thought that I was good with all of that. Mom was great at it. Colby was great at it, but because we all of a sudden we were like, hey, our little girl's we're not gonna get to see her every day. But we kind of realized, hey, she's got to get on with her life. That's how we raised her, to be independent and kind of do the things she wants to do and pursue her happiness. So through the process, when it got closer, they moved right around your birthday, if I remember right. So they got a U-Haul, packed up the U-Haul. Michael had sold his car because he had a work car and a personal car, and he really didn't need to have both. And so when he left his job, he had to give back his work car, but he didn't really need another car. And so they came to the house because there was a lot of things at the house that you wanted to bring with you. So I gave them a bunch of stuff that we just didn't need anymore. Like, oh, good, take this. I was good with the whole thing. Mom and I were good with the whole thing. Until it came time when Taylor said, "Dad, I need you to drive my Jeep up onto the trailer," because she just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So they were trailering her Jeep behind the U-Haul, which, by the way, they had never driven a U-Haul with a long trailer on it, and that was a big thing for you. Because I think you and I talked about the do's and the don'ts for like 20 minutes on the basic things to watch out for. So I get in the Jeep, start the Jeep up. Michael and Taylor, everybody's kind of sitting out there. And I put the thing in gear. And as soon as I pulled up and I felt the front wheels hit those ramps, it was like this just like I couldn't hardly breathe. So I'm pulling the Jeep up, and I had to sit and take a minute because it hit me hard that somebody was taking our daughter. Or not taking our daughter, but our daughter was leaving and to pursue your lives together. So I sat there trying to be I'm not going to get upset, and I'm just holding on to the steering wheel. And it felt like I was probably standing there for 5 minutes. I don't know how long I was in there. But I happened to look over to Taylor, and we both had this like radar lock. And I turned the Jeep off, got out, we both hugged, and it was just, we both felt that same thing. It was awesome. It was a good experience because I knew, number one, I trusted you fully, and I knew that you were going to take care of each other and you were going to watch over her and not let anything happen to her. But it was just a reminder that, hey, our baby girl's leaving us. You've reminded me and us that crying with your kids is natural and a true sign of love. So let's raise a glass.
We practice regularly.
We're going to raise a glass. This is for Michael and Taylor. May they continue to show and express love amongst one another every day. Love you guys.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.